Here's my family. We try to get together, and anytime we're together, all the grandkids or all the siblings, they kind of take a picture just to keep a record of everyone. This is my mom. She was one of the first of her siblings to attend college. She got her master's degree in special education. She's now the director of special education for Port Arthur ISD, and she's pursuing her doctorate degree. These are my parents. They currently do emergency care foster placement. My parents have been together since I was about 4 or 5 years old. We have a very unique blended family. It's an amazing experience to just be surrounded by parents who love and take care of you, and just encourage you. My dad's a huge part of my life. We People joke that we look identical, but I always tell him I'm the better looking one. But I'm very proud to have the dad that I have. We're a lot closer now that I'm an adult than we were when I was younger, but I appreciate who he was and is for my younger siblings. This is my stepmom, my mama Kim. As you can see, we love being together, just enjoying each other's company. Brothers. This is my eldest brother, Israel. He's there with my nephew and my dad there. Just kind of while these pictures are going, I just want to just touch on a few historically significant points that kind of occurred during my family's tenure. My mom, for instance, she had a brother, one of my uncles who I unfortunately never had the opportunity of meeting. He was in the military and he was involved in a plane crash, which is one of the second largest Canadian accidents on Canadian soil. He was a U.S. citizen, but the plane that they were flying in happened to be taking off from a Canadian airstrip, and they were coming back home for the holidays, and he did pass. It's actually Aeroflight 1285. It happened about December 12th, 1985. My Both of my grandpas were in the military. Well, my papa James and my papa Leroy, they were both in the military. My papa TW, he wasn't in the military. He was more of a laborer. He worked in like the steel mills and the lumber mills out in Silsbee, Texas. These pictures that are going through right now are my little brothers. My family adopted them in about 2017. I was telling you my family does emergency care foster placement. We ended up getting Larry as emergency care foster placement and kept him for a while. Then his brothers ended up coming, and my family was just like, you know what, let's go ahead and adopt them to keep them from being out of the foster care system. This is my grandma Helen, and there she is pictured with her children. Um, Later on, I can say this now that my grandparents are playing. My grandparents, most of them were born actually right after the Great Depression, so they're actually able to experience the benefits our country had from the New Deal with President Roosevelt. And just hearing their experiences during that time, it was an interesting story. These are my late grandparents. My grandmother May May. I remember her telling me stories of the KKK walking down their street and their family rushing them inside so they wouldn't become a victim. She hated taking pictures, so you always had to sneak and take a picture of her. She was a fierce woman. Loved my grandmother. Yeah, up until the end, she was amazing. This is my Papa James. He passed a few years ago. He used to always bring us fishing and camping. I accredit my love for the outdoors to my Papa James and my grandmother Ella. This is my Papa TW, who I was talking about briefly earlier. This next picture right here is actually a picture that my uncle painted of my grandfather. These last few documents are just some historical documents I was able to locate. The first one is my grandfather actually having to get his birth certificate amended 30 years later, which I thought was really interesting because when I first found his birth certificate, I'm like, wait, they spelled his name wrong, but he got it amended.